every single direction. Sometimes you're getting bumped around by tunas the size of a small car. It was a terrifying experience towards the end. 300 kilo tunas, every single one. Boom. Our Ocean series took me from Arctic to Antarctica, but the most amazing story I ended up shooting was actually in my own country, in my own backyard, in a story that was probably the most impactful story in my life career. So that just makes it so much more special. I had this network of people that would tell me about stories that I could come and photograph. And I started hearing some stories about these big things that the tuna fishermen would find called the pintados. It was this very large being that would show up in the middle of the ocean with white spots on their back. The fishermen didn't know what it was, but they knew it was a sign of abundance. Whenever they had an encounter with this spotted being, they would be able to catch a lot of tuna. So the first day I went out trying to find these pintados, we found a tuna fishing boat that started waving at us and started pointing down and screaming, "Pintado, pintado, pintado." And I just jumped into the water, and it was such an amazing experience. There was this massive 10, 11 meter whale shark in the middle of a chaos of tunas flying in every single direction. As soon as he saw me, he just came straight at me, and he just kept coming. I came up just beside the tuna fishing boat that had called us. When he saw me, he said in Portuguese, "O que é isso afinal?" So what is it? And I realized that these fishermen, they've been seeing whale sharks for maybe 2 to 3 decades. What seems to be happening is global warming, and the increase of the average seawater temperature is pushing these whale sharks out of their natural and historic environment and into unknown territories. In the Azores, we have these upwelling currents that bring nutrients to the surface, and that's why we have this giant biomass of bait balls. These whale sharks are working in cooperation with tunas to be able to feed on these bait balls. One of the most epic encounters we had during this shoot was with a very big bait ball that had bluefin tunas in the middle of it, and also whale shark. We dropped into the water, and we were maybe 30 minutes swimming full power to try to keep up with the action. There were maybe a few hundred tunas that turned into a few thousand tunas, and suddenly there was bait ball and tunas all around us, and we're talking about 300 kilo tunas the size of a small car just darting past you, and pretty much chaos everywhere. Bait ball situations are very volatile. I had the feeling that if any of these tunas hit me, I would be turned into dust immediately because they're so massive and powerful. It was a terrifying experience. I got bumped on my back. My whole body just flew out of the water, and my safety diver also got hit on the arm. It was probably the most epic situation I've ever been through in my life as an underwater cameraman.
This is crazy, look at this. I think it's really dangerous to be in there.
In the end, I think this is probably the most epic story I've ever shot. It's a story that I've been waiting to tell for the last decade. And it ended up being a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's so epic that we were able to capture something like this and have it on a landmark series like Our Oceans. I mean, sometimes Neptune just smiles at you and gives you an opportunity like this one.